Hello, and welcome to AMCC 101, Part 1, A Beginner's Guide at Becoming a Team Player. I'm your host, Agent 3 Miller, and I'm the sick call supervisor currently for 3rd Battalion, 4th Marines. So it's my job to present this information to corpsmen at all different levels of professional skill, whether that's the new corpsman just entering the fleet for the first time, or somebody that would just like a refresher course on what they can do to become a better corpsman at the sick call level. So why am I doing this? Well, like I said, it's to pass on the information that may be not covered in certain instructions. For example, Buper's Instruction 1000 TAC 22 Bravo, which covers no shave chits and everything no shave related. Not everything in that instruction is covered. Once you get to the fleet, you'll realize that how we operate at the AMCC depends a lot on SOP and not primarily the instruction. There's a lot of things that if you just went off the instruction, you wouldn't know how to apply it necessarily once you got to the fleet. So that's why I created this PowerPoint, is to give everybody kind of a common ground to work from. And not everything on this PowerPoint may apply to you, but take it and learn with it. And if there's anything else that you'd like to apply with it, see how it could fit in with the instructions that we're going to go over in this slideshow. So now that you know what's in it for me, what's in it for you as the viewer? Well, number one, it's your job. You wear the caduce. You're the corpsman. Not everything corpsman is rescue Andes and tourniquets. Get your patient off the X. And a lot of what being a corpsman in garrison is sick call related and physical screeners, stuff like that. So learn the admin side of it if you want to learn everything that applies to your job when in garrison, especially. Number two, it's going to enable productive conversation between you and the Marine Corps chain of command. When I first arrived on the scene back in 2016, a lot of my conversations I had with platoon sergeants, staff sergeants, all the way up to like first sergeants, really was a one-way conversation between in that Marine Corps chain of command, because I didn't know my job as well as I do now, and that I kind of let the Marine, when talking medical related stuff, the Marine Corps chain of command posed questions that I didn't necessarily have the answers to at the time. And it really was a one-way conversation where, I'd go into the conversation thinking I had everything I needed, and then when I got there, they'd ask questions that, oh, well, I didn't think of that. So another reason why it's good for you to watch this is because you become a reliable self-starter. It gives you the tools necessary to start doing basic admin corpsman stuff at your own level, and without higher ups telling you, hey, we need this done. You can be like, hey, I already got it done. This PowerPoint presentation is presented and organized in a crawl, walk, run, teach fashion. This Part 1 series is more the crawl, walk version, which assumes you have basic knowledge of some of the stuff that you probably know about, but it gets you more up to the walk speed, the being able to walk the walk. The Part 2, which covers the more nuanced stuff and the more refined aspects of each chapter, gets you to that run level where you are a subject matter expert. And then after you've watched both series, hopefully you're at the level where you're able to teach. You're able to teach corpsmen that are going to be in your shoes, that your exact shoes maybe a year from now when you get new corpsmen in your command. And that's kind of what I'm at right now. That's kind of what I'm doing with this series, is I want to pass on everything that wasn't necessarily taught to me at first, that I kind of learned along the way. It's going to enable you to be confident in the fact that you're going to make mistakes, but you're never going to make the same mistake twice, and you're going to learn from that. And that's the only way we learn, is you're not afraid to make mistakes, but you learn from it and you become better from it. Most importantly, I wanted to touch on the subject that you are a valued team member and you are part of that team. Becoming proficient at your job is the fastest way to gain respect and eases the workload of everyone around you. You are needed and you are wanted. Whether acknowledged or not does not matter. We need you. You are a piece of the machine that is healthcare in the Navy and Marine Corps, and without your contribution, the machine breaks down or starts to slow down. It puts more work and friction on other levels, and if you're not able to, or if you're slacking, well, not slacking, but if you're not at the best level that you can be at that time, you're going to see it on all different levels. Whether it's the sick call soup, the providers, the LPOs, the senior lines, they're relying on you to be the best piece that you can be, to fit in the machine and work effectively in unison. All right, we're going to cover everything that's covered in part 1 here in the table of contents. Chapter 1 is going to give you ALTA, access and orientation, as well as how to make appointments and scheduling, or how to view appointments and how to schedule your Marines for those appointments. Chapter 2 is going to be SOAP notes, whether that's the paper SF600 or the electronic version on ALTA. You're going to learn how the SOP on light duty chits, as well as SIQ and no shave chits. Chapter 3 is going to cover MERS, just at a glance, access and orientation. Things like Excel scrubs or IMR Excel scrubs are going to be more part 2, the more refined approach to MERS. Chapter 4 is going to be TCONs and EPHAs, or periodic health assessments, as well as give you the first look at your DD Form 2766. Chapter 5 is going to be EDHAs, the deployment health assessments. Chapter 6 is going to cover physicals and screeners, give you familiarized with the DD Form 2807 and 2808, as well as different screening packages that you might encounter. Chapter 7 is going to be CHCS, just a very basic glance at that. Chapter 8 is going to be records management. Chapter 9, additional resources, and Chapter 10, topics that are not covered in this Part 1 series, but will be covered in the Part 2 series.